Okay, so I'm not sure how does this whole thing work. I guess I can see the responses from the audience in the chat. So I'll just look now and then. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Sasha. I work for Astar, and my main preoccupation in the recent months has been Swanky CLI. So I don't know if you came across Swanky in developing your smart contracts or whatever. But Swanky is all-in-one tool that aims to get you started real quickly developing WASM smart contracts and deploying them to preferably Astar, but basically you can deploy them to like any parachain, any node you want. So I'll quickly just make a small introduction and then show you the demo. Unfortunately, we are still having some like technical difficulties with dependencies, so there's going to be some warnings, but you can I'll point them out. You can ignore them easily. Maybe worth saying, we are currently working hard on like creating a dev container for that, so you don't have to worry about installing dependencies on your own and setting up the environment. So it's going to be like even easier. Like, you can expect that in the next installations, instructions for installation, and even for setting up the environment to use it, and as well as a bunch of nice tutorials how to use Ink in general and how to develop those smart contracts. All right, so Swanky suite is comprised of two like main parts. Those are Swanky CLI, which you can find in this repo, and Swanky Node. Swanky Node is a like convenience node, which has instant finality, which means that like whenever you push a transaction, it's going to create a block without waiting for the block time, which makes development super easy. And it's designed to work nicely with the Swanky CLI tool, as I will show you soon. And yeah, if you like run into any bugs or anything, feel free to post an issue on the Swanky CLI repo. We are actually tracking all the issues publicly and next features and everything. So chip in, contribute however you feel is appropriate. Okay, so yeah, it's hard to follow, but if you have any questions, just like shoot them in here. I'll try to follow. So okay, this is nice. Okay, so let's show what Swanky does. All right, I have this folder demo here. I have Swanky downloaded locally. Well, actually, this is the development version, still unreleased, as you can see, 108. And this is the warnings I told you about, like when I started. Those happens because I have polluted my my local system and environment with a bunch of different Polkadot JS versions, and they have in their like util library, they have a check for those. So I get those warnings. You'll probably get them too if you use Swanky for a while. If you create more than like one project. But those, like as far as we can tell, those don't actually impede anything. They're just annoying, and we are working hard on removing them. Okay, so first what you will want to do is initiate a Swanky project, which you'll do with Swanky init command. But maybe I first show like the standard help. This will show you like all the commands that you can invoke with Swanky. We'll basically go through all of them now. We'll start with init, and then we'll compile and deploy a contract, make some calls to it, start the node, and maybe create a couple of accounts. And yeah, this is a little spoiler here, but actually Swanky allows for creation of plugins, and our friends at Fala have been creating a plugin of their own. So basically, you will be able to interact with Fala FAT contracts and Fala nodes through Swanky as well. And that's all. Also, maybe an idea for a hackathon: create a plugin for Swanky to do something that it cannot do on its own. All right, so let's init the project. Init, let's call it Polka EU. Okay, there we go with the warnings. We currently support Ask and Inc. If you did not come across it, Ask is also a land to it's based on assembly script and therefore more similar to TypeScript than Inc. Inc is Rust. So it's a kind of nice transition path from people who know TypeScript to Web3 and like smart contracts based on WASM. But we are going to use Inc right now because it's more common and better supported. Swanky will offer you a couple of templates right from the start. Like you can take just a blank folder with just empty files in there, standard Flipper and a PSP22. But we'll choose Flipper now because it's faster to compile. You can add a custom name or just keep the Flipper. This is fetched from git config. I'll keep it as is, and I will not share my email. And yeah, now we have a option to download the Swanky node, and yes, I will do that because I don't want to configure other nodes manually. All right, everything seems to be fine, and we can download the node. And it's now installing the dependencies. It's using standard Node.js for that. It's a Node.js package, if I did not mention that. Basically, you can install it from npm globally, but we recommend to download it precompiled from our GitHub, just basically to avoid this kind of dependency conflicts. All right, it should be done, Rust. All right, we are good to go. Let's cd into it. Let's show the code generated. Okay, so this is basically how your project will look like. Okay, can you see my screen? Like I wasn't showing slides. I was showing the docs pages and GitHub pages.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Can I zoom in a little bit on this one? Yeah. Okay, so what you will get is a contracts folder with the Flipper template inside. Most like basic template from Polkadot examples. And you will also get like the most important part of this is the Swanky config, which holds the location of the node, which is here in the bin folder. Pre-made accounts here, contracts added, and networks configured. So basically, you could pass in these like local Astroshin and Shibuya networks to deploy or interact with contracts over there, or you can define your own here. Okay, so with that, let's start the compilation process. We want to compile this Flipper contract, so we'll just go Swanky. Contract. Actually, let's show the help here after the annoying warnings. Okay, so these are the available commands right now with query and transaction being new, still unreleased basically, but they will be in the release that's going to come out like today. So, and also you bound one contract per project. Let's compile the Flipper contract. Compile Flipper. Yeah, and this should take a couple of minutes. After it's done, it's gonna add the artifacts and artifact paths to the config, and also here. All right. I'm trying to follow here. So if you have any questions, just like post them in the chat. I'll try to catch them. And also, yeah, if you get stuck or if you need some help with Swanky, just post in the Discord channel. I guess like I can't promise I'll be there like 24/7, but I'll check them like once a day definitely. With the Rust analyzer, well, it's let's see, like this is a Rust module, so Rust analyzer is like I have it as an extension, so I guess it does play nicely. Let's see what is this. Yeah, I have some error, but usually it does play nice. It like there shouldn't be any problems because transaction is automatically included in a block. That's a feature of like when we build the node, it basically just takes every transaction and creates a block right away with that one transaction in there. Uh, the link the explanation of having used there, and currently there we have because as you might know, the ink version is in like this big transition. The UI for contracts on Polkadot JS apps is still like not supporting it, so we are kind of choosing what to support. But basically, like we are Swanky CLI and Swanky Node support version 4 of Ink and V2 of weights. So basically, it doesn't return weight as a like a single value, but as an object. So okay. Yeah. The thing is, Aster still doesn't have the pellet contracts there, and we are waiting for it to be validated and like officially secure. Yeah. So we are aiming for end of Q1 for that in Aster. Yeah. But it's up and running in Sweden, if that's any consolation. Okay, let's check the progress of this. Still okay, compiled. Right. Now we have compiled the contract. We can see some artifacts here. Standard metadata. All right, let's deploy that contract. I'm cheating a little bit, so I don't have to write all the time. So basically, you call a deploy command and specify the name of the contract you want to call, and that's defined in Swanky config. And you specify an account you want to deploy it with, and gas. And the A stands for arguments, and this one only requires one argument, and that's a boolean, will be true or false. All right, it's some luck, we'll get it. Oh no, what did I miss? Yeah, I miss starting the node. So as you can see, like there is no node connected. So I'll just call. I need to cd into the project as well, and call Swanky node start. And here we see the Swanky node I was telling you about running. All right, let's try deploying again. Now we have a place to deploy it to. Awesome, our contract is deployed to this address. You can also see that in the config. This is our contract. It is deployed to this address, to this network with this user. And this is where the artifacts are if you need to find them for uploading the metadata or something. All right, now that it's deployed, we can do some, we can call it from here. So just let's go contract query. We specify the contract, and let's say get. I think that's the right keyword. Maybe I get an error about the user. No, it's fine. Okay, so query result is true. So the current state of the contract is true. Now let's try and send a transaction there. We still need to specify the contract, which is Flipper, and transaction will be Flipper. And now we have to add a user. We'll still use Alice. Oh, it's not user, it's account, sorry. All right, so we have successfully sent the transaction. As you can see here, it's automatically finalized and included in a block. All right. And now if we do query again, it should be different. Yeah, there you go. Now it's false. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell about contracts. Compiling, deploying, calling them. You can also actually we can try to demonstrate deployment to let's deploy it to our testnet. It's called Shibuya and it's defined in the config as well. That should take a bit more time, but it should be cool to demonstrate. All right. Yeah, this is a live network, so it's a bit longer and it doesn't have the instant finality as this. All right, we have done it, which is awesome. I wasn't sure will this work. Okay, So it's basically deployed to this address to the live testnet now, and we can check it from there. If we just let me just open the contracts UI interface, let's see. Well, okay, this one's older. Let's forget it. Okay, let's provide the address. All right, and this is our contract that we have deployed to live Shibuya testnet, which is not local. Let's try to get the state. Yeah, it's true. Try to flip it with account. Oh no. Yeah, I'm not gonna call it with my live accounts. I'm not sure why it doesn't give me the option to use Alice here, but yeah, I'm not gonna unlock my wallet for the demo purposes. I'm sure you can understand. All right. What else? What else can we show? Yeah, you can also generate new accounts with Swanky. So you just call Swanky account create. -G means generate. If you don't pass that flag, it will ask you for a mnemonic. This way, it will generate one for you. And it will also ask you, is it a dev account? So if it is, then it will not ask you to encrypt it. Otherwise, it will only show you the mnemonic once, and so you should take care of it, and it will encrypt it with a password, so it's not stored in plain text anywhere. But let's say it is. Yeah, this is your mnemonic, and you have a warning that what I just said. Let's call it test account. Yeah, and that account is now added to the account section of the config. Let's see, did I cover everything? Okay, we did. We didn't check the plugins. We won't do that now. Yeah, and check will basically check your current environment and tell you if there's any mismatch or anything. But yeah, as you can imagine, this is new versions are popping up basically daily, so this is kind of hard to follow. So it also we counter on your reasoning to check the versions yourself as well. This is just a tool to maybe steer you in the right direction if there are some issues with anything not being installed. This was on Shibuya, the contracts UI. Yeah, the contracts UI is a UI from Substrate that you can connect to, and any chain that supports contract palette. Yeah, we can also connect to our local node here and do the same. Yeah, and obviously, if you want to deploy to Scheiden, you should have a real account there and some tokens to pay the gas costs and everything. All right, I think I have shown everything. So if there are any questions, either ask right away or come over to the Discord channel. We'll do our best to answer as soon as we can. Or there's actually a bunch of questions already, both in the like issues open and closed in the GitHub, which I will, as I said, I will share in the Discord, and also on Stack Exchange. Like we have Polkadot slash, I think it's Substrate. But if you look for Swanky or Astor as well, you'll find a bunch of questions there too. Yeah, I actually deployed it first to local node. But I can do it again. It will just deploy to a different address now. Control deploy. Okay, so local is default. So if I remove the network flag, it will just deploy it locally there, and we can see it here as well. So it's already in block and deployed to this address. Now, if I go to contract CI and switch to local with this address, I'll call it flipper local, and we can upload the same metadata, and there. That's it on local. And yeah, now we have Alice that we can actually call flip with. Yeah. Yeah. Right. I hope this satisfies your curiosity. All right. So I guess that's it. Yeah. And see you on Discord, and happy building. All right. Thanks for watching. Cheers.